If you're a manufacturer that's running Facebook ads or thinking about running Facebook ads, this is going to be the most important video you're going to watch this year. What's going on? My name is Dennis Lagares and I'm the founder of Haywire Marketing. We work with branded manufacturers from doing $2 to $12 million a year and help them build ad systems that generate consistent qualified leads every single month with Facebook ads. And here's what's interesting. Most manufacturers I talk to are either running Facebook ads or they're running ads right now and wondering why the leads they're generating are not closing. And the answer is almost never the platform. It's the system behind it. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact Facebook ad strategy that we use with our clients, the campaign structure, the creative framework, and the testing process. So you can copy it and implement it yourself. Be sure to stay until the end because the last piece of the strategy is what makes everything else actually work. Most manufacturers skip it completely. And it's the main reason why their ad spend stops improving over time, no matter how much they put into it. Let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about why Facebook is actually a great platform for B2B manufacturers. The most common objection I receive about Facebook is that my buyers are not on this platform. This platform is only for B2C. But what you overlook is that your buyers are people first, and people are on this platform. Procurement managers scroll, founders consume content, and your decision makers spend hours on these platforms every week. They don't just disappear from the internet just because they work in manufacturing. And here's what makes this platform unlike anything else currently available for you right now. Facebook has over 52,000 data points per user. That means the targeting capability here is deeper than any other platform that you could buy ads on. And that's including LinkedIn. We're not just picking a specific industry, we're reaching specific buyers based off their behaviors, interests, role, and their buying signals. So it's safe to say your audience is here. But knowing that they're here is only half the equation, because before you write a single ad or touch a single creative, there's one thing you need to set up first. And if you get this wrong, there'll be nothing else in this video to save your campaign. The first step here is going to be your campaign structure. You're going to want to set this up before you touch anything else. The campaign structure that we use with every manufacturing client is an ABO, ad set budget optimization. So that's going to be one campaign, but your budget is set at the ad set level. This is when you're able to decide how much budget that ad set gets to spend, and you're able to control where the money goes based off what's actually performing. Why ABO? Because it puts control in your hands and not the algorithm. You're not gonna hope for Facebook to spend your budget wisely. You set the ad spend per ad set, which means you can cut the losers immediately, protect the winners, and scale the ones that are hitting your KPIs without the algorithm quietly redistributing your budget to an underperforming ad just in case it might convert. Now, let's be clear here that the data still decides, but you're the one that's going to be acting on it. Under the ABO setup, you're going to organize your ad sets by creative batches, not by audience, because each batch of creatives is going to have its own ad set. Each ad set gets its own budget, and it's also going to have its own learning phase. Adding new creatives means spinning up a new ad set with its own dedicated spend, while your existing ad sets keeps running undisturbed and finding their footing independently. Step 2 is knowing who you're going to target before you spend a single dollar. If your audience is set to all business owners or all decision makers, you're burning money. The more specific you are, the better the leads are going to be. Targeting everyone is like having a sniper shooting with their eyes closed. Before you build a single ad, you need to become crystal clear on who you're targeting and who your actual buyer is. What industry are they in? What's their role? What size company are they working inside of? What's the type of language they use? What's their current problems? What problems are they actively trying to solve right now? Facebook is extremely good at delivering your ads to your target market, but only if you give it the right parameters to start from. If you get this audience wrong, everything downstream just breaks and fails. Better creatives, better copy, better offer, none of it's gonna save a campaign if it's aimed at the wrong people. Now, Now, once you know who you're targeting, the next decision is how most manufacturers get completely wrong, is how you actually reach them. Because there isn't just one way to run Facebook ads. There are three. And picking the wrong one for where you're at right now is one of the fastest ways to burn money. Step 3 is picking the right funnel depending on where you're at this current moment. There are 3 different funnels available to you right now. We have DM ads, lead forms, and then landing pages. Each one has a completely different role and a completely different level of resistance. DM ads are the lowest level of resistance. Someone sees your ad, taps the send message button, and then your team qualifies them through a conversation in the DMs. This works, but only if you have someone actively in the DMs the moment someone comes in. If you don't have that infrastructure, do not run this funnel. You would get a ton of conversations with no one to close. Lead forms are a mid resistance. The form is native to Facebook, so that means the prospect is staying on the platform, nothing that opens in a browser. The issue with lead forms is that it auto-fills the contact's info, what they use to sign up with Facebook when they first created the account. If someone didn't update their number in the last 3 years, you're calling a dead line. The fix for that is for them to manually enter their number. You can make people type in their work email. You could also use conditional logic, building out qualifying questions that actually filters out poor prospects. When they're done right, lead forms are extremely effective for manufacturers. Then we have landing pages, which is the highest level of resistance. You're sending traffic off the platform to a page you fully control. Higher friction means much higher quality, but also a higher cost per lead or booked call. The advantage here is that you could use tools like Typeform instead of a standard form. You can add a video and run a VSL and control what the buyer sees before they convert. However, if you're just starting off, I would recommend to start off with the lead form and then build from there. You want to match your funnel where you're currently at, not where you want to be. So now you've got your campaign structure, you've got your audience, and you've picked out your funnel. Most manufacturers at this point just go straight to building an ad, and that's exactly where they lose, because the step that actually determines if your ad's going to print money or burn your ad spend happens way before you open up Canva or brief a videographer. It happens in research. Step 4, do market research before you touch a creative. This step either makes or breaks campaigns, and most manufacturers completely skip it. Business owners think they know what their customers want, and most of the times they're wrong, or at least not as close as they think they are, because you're so deep in your own business that your assumptions about what your buyers actually care is filtered through your own beliefs and experience, but not theirs. So before you write a single line of copy or build a creative, I want you to go to Reddit, go to Quora, read competitor reviews, look at the Facebook ads library, pull up foreplay.co, and search your industry. Look at what your target market is actually saying in the wild. What problems are they trying to solve? What's keeping them up at night? What type of language are they using to describe their own situation? I've pulled a comment directly out of a Facebook thread from a prospect in my target market, turned it into an ad copy, and that ad has outperformed every other ad that we were running for that market. The words your buyers use to describe their own problem, it's going to be way more powerful than you come up with in your own head. And when you're on Facebook ads library or on foreplay.co, pay attention to how long ads have been running. If your competitor's ads has been live for 100, 300, 600, 1,000 days, that ad is profitable. And that's gonna be the only reason why that ad is still running. Study the hook, study the visual, study the offer structure, study the environment of where the ad is taking place if it's video. Let's be clear here. We're not copying, we're just modeling to what the market is currently responding to. Now that you already know what's working in the market and what your buyers actually care about, it's time to build a creative. And this is where you could start leaving serious money on the table, or finally start receiving the results that you've been chasing, because there's a specific framework behind this and most people don't see it. So step 5, you want to build the creative framework, and this is where most manufacturers leave money on the table. So here's the creative. You have 3 angles. From there, you have 5 creative types per angle. That's going to give you 15 creatives per ad set. I'm going to walk you through what that actually looks like. An angle is a specific pain point or the desire that you're leading with. If you're a contract manufacturer, angle 1 could be buyers frustrated because they're dealing with inconsistent lead times from their current supplier. Angle 2 could be founders trying to scale production without increasing overhead. Angle 3 could be procurement managers who've been burned by quality issues. Same product, but 3 completely different entry points into the buyer's world. Under each angle, you're going to have 5 different creative types. So the first one's going to be problem solution. You want to agitate the specific problem, then present your solution. This is where we lead with the problem that they would recognize immediately. Manufacturers are buying outcomes, not specs. And this could be something that can work for a static image or video. Then we have a founder-led video. If you could speak directly on camera to your buyers, this is going to be one of your most powerful assets. It builds trust faster than any other ad because it's real and it connects you with the buyer. This is where you speak to the pain point, talk about why you built the company, or walk through a process that could solve their issue. Whatever you film, make it you, make it direct, and make it specific to the buyer you're talking to. Then we have social proof, which is pretty standard. These are reviews, case study testimonials, client results. So you're gonna pull out a specific outcome and put it on the screen. People don't really trust ads, but they trust other buyers. A real result from a real client, stated simply, will consistently outperform any branded, polished piece of content you put out there as an ad. One of my favorite ones is us versus them. If you have a clear differentiator, such as a faster turnaround, lower MOQ, made in America, more flexible customizations, you want to show this directly against what the market is currently offering. Play on what buyers are currently frustrated in your space. Another good one is educational VSL. This is someone that's never heard of you, and you're going to record a short form video and walk them through the problem, market's current landscape, and why your solution is the only logical answer. This is one of the harder creatives to produce, but when done properly, this can pull 7 figures in sales easily. The structure is going to be an emotional hook, storytelling, unique mechanism problem, unique mechanism solution, risk reversal, and testimonial that's going to handle objections. Now, one thing that is important about creatives, don't overthink the format. Use this rule of thumb. If you could explain what you're selling in a static image, that's all you need. But if you need a little bit more runway, a video is going to be the better option for you. Now your campaign is structured, your creative is built. The next thing most manufacturers do is that they launch. Then they stare at the dashboard for 2 days before making any changes. That actually kills the campaign before it even reaches your audience. So here's exactly how you should run the test. Step 6 is how to properly analyze your data. Once your campaign is live, you have 7 days to let it run before drawing any conclusions. Don't touch it before then, let the algorithm gather its data. After day 7, do 3 things. First, you want to identify above target performance. Of those 15 to 30 creatives that you've launched, which ones are hitting your target cost per lead or cost per acquisition? Those are going to be your winners. Second, you want to decide what to do with those winners. Once you know what's working, put more money behind it. You can either set up a dedicated scaling campaign or just put more money behind the current ad set that you have. Third is going to be the most important step. Keep testing new concepts. The goal of the testing campaign is to never find one ad and run it forever. It's to continuously find new winners while your current winners are scaling. That's how you build a creative pipeline that doesn't die when one ad fatigues. Now, here's where it gets critical, because you could follow every step of this video flawlessly. Right structure, right audience, right creative, right testing process, and still quietly destroy your campaign's performance long term. And most manufacturers have no idea it's actually happening. This is going to be the one step I actually mentioned in the beginning, the one thing that makes everything else actually work. Step 7 is qualifying hard in the front end. This is going to protect everything. This is the step most manufacturers either skip or get wrong. And it's the one with the most downstream consequences. Every lead that converts, even the bad ones, gets sent back to Facebook as a positive signal. Facebook then takes that data and goes and get you more people just like that lead. So if an unqualified lead is going through your form and hitting your pixel, you're actively training the algorithm to send you unqualified prospects every single month. So this is where you want to ask the hard questions in your form. Are they actually a B2B buyer? Are they a manufacturer that produces their own products? Can they afford what you're offering? If they say no, they don't move forward. They don't hit that pixel and they don't become a data point that shapes the next month lead quality. You want to be strict enough to eliminate bad buyers, not so strict that you're pricing out real prospects. You want to find that line and hold it. And the pixel itself has to be set up properly before any of that matters. The pixel is a code that's going to be living on your landing page and tells Facebook what's actually happening. When someone books a call, submits a form, makes a purchase, if it's not firing on the right events, Facebook is going to be running blind. Every dollar you spend without a working pixel is a dollar spent with no learning behind it. Now that you've protected the data that's going into your algorithm, but there's still one more piece that most manufacturers completely miss in this process of running Facebook ads. And that's saying the wrong thing to the right buyer at the wrong time. Step 8 is where you want to segment your messaging for cold and warm audiences. The way you speak to a prospect that never heard of you is going to be completely different than someone that already came to your website, watched your video, or engaged with your content. Cold audience needs education, a reason why to pay attention, versus warm audience need proof, urgency, and a specific reason to add to now. Running the same creative to both, one of the fastest ways to waste retargeting budget and leave warm prospects unconverted. So you're gonna want to run your prospecting campaigns and your retargeting campaigns with two different creative and message strategies. For retargeting, you want to lean more towards case studies, social proof, and direct offers. These are people who already know who you are. The job here is to stop from whatever preventing them to take the next step. And once you've done that, there's a final step to tie this all together, because the ad is only one step of the system. And when manufacturers ignores what happens after the click, they blame the wrong thing every single time, because the ad gets people to click. But if your landing page is unclear, if your form is asking the wrong questions, if the offer doesn't match what the ad promised, the lead quality falls apart, and then they blame the ad. The ad, the form, the landing page, and all the qualification questions have to work together. Each one has its own job. When a campaign underperforms, most just go straight to the creative, but a significant percentage of the time, it's something downstream. In the form, in the page, in what happens after someone submits. You're gonna want to look at the whole system and not just the top of it. So there it is, the complete Facebook ad strategy that we use for our clients. Campaign structure, audience setup, funnel selection, market research, creative frameworks with 3 angles and 5 creative types, testing and scaling process, front-end qualifications, audience segmentation, and system level thinking that stops you blaming the wrong things when results are not where they should be. This is the system, and the system compounds. The longer it runs with the right inputs, the better the algorithm gets to finding your right buyers, and the more qualified leads get time over time. Now, this is one piece of a much larger framework. If you want to see how this all fits together in one acquisition system, the full funnel strategy, the full funnel structure, the messaging, the website mistakes that kills conversions before sales ever gets involved, and how to build demand so you don't have to depend on referrals or trade shows. I recorded a full walkthrough of our signal to sales system. Everything we covered today lives in that one video. The link is right here. And if you'd rather have our team build it and run this entire system for you, click the link below and schedule a call with us. And I'll see you there.